Welcome back to Stasis, Geek. Peter Pan and Wendy. I got around to watching it. I had to actually search on Disney Plus because it seems Disney Plus after the first day just moved it aside. Now, what is the most interesting thing about this movie? At the moment, after watching it, it's the reviews because they're hilarious. Because you got two spectrums of this. You've got 1s out of 10s. It's not a 1 out of 10. It's slightly better than that. But then you get the 10 out of 10s. The Disney defenders who are living in a different world, because this movie is at most, and I mean if I was being nice, is a 4 out of 10. I wouldn't even go there. It is literally a 3.5. Let's go with that. Yeah, because it is just dreadfully boring. It's like they had production company problems and then they changed directors halfway through, because it looked like nobody actually cared about directing the movie, except for give me a light flare, pan out and show me the Faroe Islands because it looks beautiful. Are we going to think about the story? Nope. Because the story isn't forefront to this, and it's a shame. Now you're going to get the Disney defenders always saying it's because you didn't like the changes. The changes were okay, because the changes they didn't affect the actual storyline, because Tinkerbell wasn't Tinkerbell. It was just a fairy doing stuff. There should have been more there. The actress playing her did a really good job, and I didn't mind Tinkerbell. I thought she was really good. Unutilised. The Lost Boys. Okay, they went with, oh, we're going to add girls to it. And the problem with the Lost Boys is their game. They're not in this film. They are unutilised. They're pointless. Take them out. It wouldn't make any difference to the storyline. But it's like they kind of went, you need to do this to tick something. And that's all it was, because they were so pointless. It's like, oh, you just did that to fill a quota? Because they didn't have any impact to the story. Now, the Darlings. The Darlings in this are just boring. It is their, oh, God, like every single one of them, except for Wendy. Wendy is, up there, the main, forefront of this. Guaranteed. Yeah, you can't pass it on as a Peter Pan story. But it is, because what they forgot to do is call it Wendy and go with it. They had to bring in Peter Pan and this weird Captain Hook thing. And the problem is, they're just in it to drive the story along, but the lead is Wendy. And it just makes this disjointed meld of absolutely a turd. And it's not even a polished turd, because everything in this just looks bad. Even like Jude Law, he's good in things. This was not his role. I don't know who thought, yep, we can get to Jude Law as Captain Hook, and somebody went, yeah. Now, it might be a problem because of his outfit, because it's a mixture of Cutthroat Island and then some kind of period drama in like the 18th century. But they tried to do it in a way that made Jude Law, Captain Hook, just look like a vagabond Napoleon. It was very weird, because he starts off wearing blue with a red tunic, and then the iconic Captain Hook red. But it's just not popping enough. So it doesn't give this kind of the original story like a dandy like captain. It's just this captain who's got greasy hair. And it's like, you're going in with that. And Wendy, God, like all three of them, Wendy, Pan and Cook, they try their hardest to go around and act on this. But the story is just so lackluster, because it's just shot in a weird way that you're just like, oh, we're going in for that angle now. Going in for that angle. Everything is up the nose. Watch everybody. Yeah? Let's shoot up the nose. It is one of the most atrocious directing I've ever seen in any movie. This is going to be gone, dusted, and really forgotten about. Yeah, the Disney defenders can go on to the next thing, because you cannot justify anything even near a 6 out of 10 for this movie, because it's just so boring. Because if you're gonna do the original, do the original. If you're going to do the original Disney cartoon, if you're going to go to the original play, you're going to do it. It's going to be really dark and morbid. It can't do it. Another studio would have to do that because it would just be weird. So what did they do in this? They took that element and then that element, but then tried to make it, I guess, in kind of look a bit modern, but kind of modern as we're making it dark, like somebody would like Harry Potter. Kind of, Deadly Hallows kind of Harry Potter. But it just didn't hit home. And then, parts of the CGI was just awful. Like the crocodile looked awful, but we, have the TikTok a bit more prominent in it. Have that kind of fun thing. And then it was just silly, casting. Like Shmi looked, the only one I thought looked good. But where's the comedy relief? That should have been played off with a hook. And it just wasn't there. They tried to make this weird, uninteresting friendship about Pan and Hook. But then they just kind of didn't have that kind of insight of building it up. It was just, and then we're going to say it. And that's the problem with this. Everything wasn't a payoff. It was just, and I'm going to explain it to you. And it was even with the tunic change. Spoilers. It's one part, Hook does kill Pan. And then he changes his tunic to red. And it's another Disney thing. Let's make it a bit obvious. But that's the problem. They should have played this and just called it Wendy and gone a story about Wendy getting lost in Neverland. It might have been a bit of an alternative, adaptation of the cartoon. But it might have been interesting. But this, they kind of dropped Wendy, and we want to be different, and we want to make Wendy the lead in this. It's gonna be a story about Pan and Hook, but Wendy's the lead. And there's your problem. You've got the story over here and the lead over here, and they're interacting, but you kind of why is Wendy the lead? Shouldn't it be Pan the lead? And then the only thing they can do is actually make all the female kind of centric elements the hero. I'm going to save Pan. I'm going to kind of redeem Hook. This is how we're going to do stuff. And it's like, but why isn't it about Pan and Hook? You're making me look that way, but then focusing on that. Up the nose, of course, with a light flare. It's just absolutely one of the worst. Not just Disney, it's just one of the worst boring movies I've seen. Faroe Islands might get a bit more tourist attraction there, because that is a beautiful island. That is it. That's what they kind of got. Oh, we haven't got really story. Where are we going with it? Oh, we're going to go. No, we're going to do that. No, it's just really boring. It is. It's will be forgotten, and I feel sorry for the kids, because yeah, this is going to harm their acting careers, because you did that, did you? And it shouldn't be, because I'm guessing their agent went, go, go, go. It's Disney. You're going to do really well. Are you in it? Are you lovable? No. The Lost Boys should have been this lovable group. You should have got to get to know them. They should have had a bit of fun. With Pan, the over-imagination, the kid that never grows old. Grows up, and it's kind of, they just kind of sidetrack them really quickly. There they are, have your moment, and your moment is making a statement about this, not called the Lost Boys, and then you're gone. And it's weird. There's songs in this that you're like, oh, you quickly just made this weird song up and that's go for it. It's not great. If the pirates are going to do a pirate song, make it a bit more jolly. Even if them walking the plank, you're going to have a kind of a jolly kind of tune, wouldn't you? It's Disney. But Disney managed to do, the director managed to do something very hard. It's take the magic out of Disney. The Magic Kingdom just lost its magic. Because this is a magical world, Neverland. And he managed to go and literally kill the magic. And I don't... That's quite difficult to do. That is something quite impressive. That it's just like we got bored. It is. It was. It's. I wouldn't even say it's get bored. I think the director came in here. I want to do this, and they went, "We're going to give you Pan and Wendy," and he went like, "Yeah, okay, I'll do that. It might make me, you know, get a bit of a statement." You're there for the paycheck. That was it for this. It wasn't a timeless tale, let's say. It's a forgettable boredom. This is one you're not going to even recommend because it's you want to go. If you're a hater, yeah, you can't even go and try and hate this because it's just bad. And you're like, oh, well, I feel kind of sorry. You know, if you're a Disney defender and you're giving it the 10s out of 10s, you've really got to kind of look at yourself and actually go back and go, oh, that's just not good. Because you'd be in a troll. And it is like the 1s out of 10s. They are trolling it. And they're trolling it because they found it funny. But you need to be a bit suggestive, both of the spectrum. Because this is literally below a 5, below a 4. Yeah, I'll give you that. Hit those numbers on IMDb or whatever on Rotten Tomato, and it might give Disney to go, oh, because all they're doing now is just gone Disney Plus, shift it, content. Everybody's going to forget it. And then anybody who will have a criticism about it, we'll just call them because you didn't like the changes. Now, what is even more amusing than the general public's reviews are the critics' reviews. The media that nobody believes anymore. And this is so apparent to their... We're getting paid. Because what they're shouting now is, oh, it's getting review bombed. Everybody's going in and giving it the 1s out of 10s. Yeah, okay. And then they're calling it a bad movie. What? People are review bombing it. This bad movie. It's objectively bad. Then you're not review bombing it. If you're saying people are unrespectful, giving it a 1 out of 10, then I will play to that. But they're not. They're just going, oh, people out there don't like changes. People out there are review bombing it. But it's boring and not very good movie. It's a forgettable tale. Well, what they should be doing is, well, people unjustly giving it 10 out of 10s. Really? Or 5 out of 5s or whatever. You cannot justify giving this, anything but below par. Yeah. Awful. If you've seen it, give us your comments below. If you haven't seen it, skip. Yeah. Unless you're wanting to kind of go, oh, this is awful. And it's weird. Because it's that bad, you wouldn't go, oh, it's for kids. I can get my kid to enjoy it. Because it's not even kid-like. It isn't like, oh, that was made for kids. It's like, oh, we're going to make it for a young adult. Well, what's a young adult? And then they've just gone, oh, young adults don't like fun. They like boring. And not even a message. Not even anything. We're just going to show you up the nose. Like Flair. Yeah, so if you've not watched it, skip it. I would, even if you love Disney, this is a skip. This is a hard skip. But on that, folks, yes, just give us a comment if you want to comment. And if you want to like, give us a like. And as always, Stasis Geek, out.